guys, vladsly here, and today I'm bringing you a video showing you how to replace the stock shock oil on your Traxxas Ultra shocks. Now this isn't my car, this is my friend's slash two-wheel drive brushed edition with the XL5, but I took it out of here because I had to solder some wires. So yeah, today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the stock shock oil. And things you'll need for this video: some shock oil. I chose this factory team 45 weight. It was about $4. Paper towels, lots of them because it might get messy. And a wheel nut wrench to take your wheel off. And whatever you need here, either hex or Phillips to take off the shock off of the car. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is to remove the wheel for whichever side you're working on, just because it makes it a lot easier to work with. Next step, we're going to take off the top of the shock here, so I'm going to just take the top off using the hex driver. Okay, so I find it quite easy to work on the car itself. I mean, you don't really have to remove it, you don't have to do anything on the lower half of the assembly. It's all here in this gray plastic, and we're going to remove this top cap which holds all the oil in. So to remove it, you just slide the shock down a bit and remove it. Now if you can't remove it by hand, you just grab some pliers or something and just spin it around. There we go. There we go. Once you get it loose a bit, it comes off pretty easily. And there we go. Now you'll see that there's a little rubber plastic here. That's like a diaphragm or bladder, you can call it what you want, but it's just a little plastic or like a rubber. It just keeps all the oil in so that it doesn't like spill out while you're driving. So you want to keep that, don't throw it out. And there's actually not a lot of oil in here. When I push it all the way up, it doesn't get to the top. So what you can do is you can either just put a paper towel in there and soak it all up, or you can just like turn it over. So I have here like a small tray in which you can't really see, but hold on, there we go. So I'm just going to tilt it over and put it upside down. There we go. And then you just give it some squeezes to get all the oil out. Okay, so now that we've taken the oil out, as you can see, my friend's oil is really dirty. He's never changed it in 4 years that he's owned the car. So now that you have the old oil out, you're going to grab a paper towel, which I have right here, and I'm going to make it into a very small and thin, kind of like a little, I don't know what to call it, but you just put it inside here, just to get all the dirty oil out, because you don't want like some really yucky oil. If you're going to replace it, just replace it all. And now all we have to do is put in the fresh oil. So now you can see the bottom here. Well, you can't really see it, but here, maybe if I, there we go. You'll see the bottom, and it's shiny now, and you could not see that before. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our oil, which I have here, and I'm just going to like lean it up against here. And the way I do it, I put it right up to here, and I just squeeze it. And I just keep squeezing it so it has like a steady flow of oil. So now I'm getting near the top here, so I'm going to just put like drip by drip, very, very slowly. There we go. And you want to get it until you have a bit of like a concave on the top. It's going to look a bit concave. And if you spill a bit, that's fine. You can just grab your paper towel and just clean it up. shock oil. It's not harmful or anything. And now what's really good about this part, if you leave it on the car, it's actually very easy because there's a lot of air bubbles in here right now, so you're just going to slowly press and decompress. And you're just going to keep doing this for a little bit. Some people find that if you blow on it, like on the top, they find that it helps the air bubbles get out faster, but it really doesn't matter. If you do this press and decompress, it works just fine. Pressing and decompressing for a few minutes, just make sure that you're getting all the air bubbles out. Okay, so it's been sitting here for a few minutes, and I also did some more compression and decompression just to get all the air bubbles out, and now it looks just fine inside. There's a very, very small amount of air bubbles, which a very small amount is fine. I mean, unless you're a perfectionist and you want to wait all day, a small amount is fine. So you put the rubber bladder back on top, and you can just push it down. That's fine. There we go. If there's a bit too much, then that's fine. You can just slowly just decompress it, just a millimeter, just to let some excess out. Just enough to let this bladder go on. You see why I said paper towels is very good, because this is a very oily job. And now you're going to grab the cap again, which we had before, and you're just going to like very slowly turn it on, and you want it just a little, just a very small amount to be tightened. So let's say if it's fully off, you want to tighten it maybe 2 turns at max. A turn and a half is even enough. Now that the diaphragm is in place, it's actually creating pressure, which causes the air to shoot up. And that's when you might have some spilling occurring, but that's fine because that's what you want. You want to put a bit too much so that it spills, so you get rid of all the air perfectly. Now you're going to want to tighten it a bit more, not all the way, a little bit more. Again, press, decompress, and now you can tighten it down just like that, a little bit more. And now here's where a lot of people make mistakes. They take their shock caps, this cap, and they over tighten it. And when they over tighten it, that causes a tear in that bladder because it's so soft. That's why what I generally do when I'm doing this part, I just tighten it with my hands as much as I can. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So now you have your cap back on, and now you can just feel and see how it is. I used 45 weight, so it's not very hard. So it's quite, I think 45 is good. My friend got 47 and a half, but I got 45 because it just feels like it's hard enough, but it's not too hard. You're gonna put this screw back through here. You're gonna take the small washer which you took off in the beginning. You're gonna put it back on, and you're gonna put it through the hole again, and yeah, let's just tighten it up. Okay, now that we put the screw back in, you just take another paper towel and you're just gonna want to clean it up to make it look nice and shiny, and make sure that there's not any excess oil. Now really it's good because, again, if you leave it on the car, you can press it up and down and you'll feel how soft it is, and you'll kind of be able to tell how it's going to feel in real world when you're driving. So just while you're pressing, just make sure you get it nice and clean everywhere, nice and shiny. And yeah, so next step, let's get this wheel back on the car. Okay, so now that we have this car back together, I put the wheel back on, and now I would press and show you how it is, but it's not really a fair representation because my friend's shocks are so old and worn out because he drove it 4 years continuously, and he never changed his shocks or serviced them or anything. So it wouldn't really be fair to show you it because, I'll show you from the side here, but it's not really like a real life representation of what it would be. here's his car. And I'll show you from here. So when you press it down, it gets stuck at about here, and it has a lot to go. So it's like, here is at very lowest, bottoming out, and it barely goes up above that. Simply because they're so old and so worn out that they don't really have any effect anymore. I mean, you can easily get more ground clearance, but in the front here, I put some newer ones on, and they already, like, they feel a lot better. But I'm gonna put my car up here, up on the stand, to show you guys how it works. But yeah, so that's how to change your shock oil on any Traxxas car with Ultra shocks. It's the same process, and I believe it would be the same for many other RC cars. But so yeah, let me show you my car now with the same shock oil. Here's my car. The only thing is that in the front, these shocks are actually shorter, like the shock shafts. So when you push it down, they're very responsive. Like, they're not very soft, but they're not too hard either. They're not bad, but these are like really long springs for shorter shaft. So in the back would be a better representation. Now you might hear a little squeaking. That's either from my chair because it's very squeaky, or from these shock shafts because they've been bent a few times, and like I just fixed them with some pliers. So here's basically these ones. So they feel really nice. I mean, they always go back to their original position. And it just feels really nice going over rough terrain. It's really easy with this car because I can climb big hills without bottoming out. And I can also take some jumps too, and it doesn't like slap really hard. It's still somewhat firm enough to not slap. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's been of great help to you. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on RC How To.